I'm Brownfield Commodity Market Reporter John Perkins with the closing market minute for Wednesday, October 22nd. Soybeans ended an up and down day mix. Nearby contracts up, the deferred months down, adjusting spreads based on demand expectations. There's still some cautious optimism ahead of trade talks between the United States and China this week in Malaysia and next week in South Korea, even if there are some uncertainties as to whether or not President Trump and President Xi are actually going to meet face-to-face next week in South Korea. Past that, beans continue to watch U.S. harvest activity and planting weather in South America. Corn closed higher, supported by solid domestic demand. The U.S. Energy Information Administration says ethanol production last week was a 19-week high, while ethanol stocks fell to a 51-week low. Corn also watching that harvest activity here in the States and planting weather in Argentina and Brazil. Wheat closed higher, actually finding some short covering support with a little bit of help from a lower move in the dollar index during the session. The rising global supplies, though, continued to keep a cap on prices. Live and feeder cattle closed sharply lower, including a mostly limit down finish for the feeder cattle pit, following some comments about President Trump as the trade waits for more details on federal intervention on cattle supplies and beef prices. Box beef was mixed at midday with choice down and select up. And hogs closed mixed. Nearby contracts were lower, deferred months were higher, unwinding some previously established spreads. Cash business was steady to lower during the session. Pork was higher at midday. With the closing market minute for Wednesday, October 22nd, I'm Brownfield Commodity Market Reporter John Perkins.